These detention centers have gained international infamy due to their appalling conditions, severe overcrowding, and rampant human rights abuses. Today, we're focusing on three particularly notorious institutions. Each of these prisons stands out for its unique blend of harsh conditions, lack of adequate facilities, and the inhumane treatment of inmates. Antanamora Prison, Madagascar. Antanamora Prison is located in Antananarivo, the capital city of Madagascar. It is one of the largest and most infamous prisons in the country, known for its severe overcrowding, poor sanitary conditions, and the harsh treatment of its inmates. The prison houses a mix of pretrial detainees, convicted criminals, and political prisoners, making it a melting pot of various types of inmates. Designed to hold approximately 800 inmates, Antanamora frequently houses over 3,000 prisoners. This severe overcrowding leads to a multitude of problems, including inadequate living space, insufficient resources, and heightened tensions among inmates. The sanitary conditions at Antanamora Prison are deplorable. The lack of adequate facilities and hygiene practices contributes to the spread of diseases and infections, making it one of the most unhygienic prisons in the world. The prison's toilet facilities are grossly inadequate for the number of inmates. With a limited number of toilets available, many inmates resort to using buckets or plastic bags in their cells. These makeshift solutions lead to unsanitary conditions, with human waste often being improperly disposed of, contributing to the spread of diseases such as cholera and dysentery. Access to clean water is a significant issue. The prison's water supply is often insufficient, forcing inmates to ration their usage for drinking, washing, and sanitation. Contaminated water sources and the lack of clean water for hygiene purposes further exacerbate the spread of waterborne diseases. Bathing facilities are scarce and often in disrepair. Inmates must share limited shower facilities, which are frequently overcrowded and unsanitary. The lack of regular access to bathing leads to poor personal hygiene, resulting in skin infections and other health issues. Waste management within the prison is virtually non-existent. Garbage accumulates in common areas and cells, attracting pests such as rats and insects. These conditions not only pose a health risk, but also contribute to the overall unsanitary environment. Inmates live in cramped, poorly ventilated cells. Overcrowding means that many prisoners do not have their own beds and must sleep on the floor or share sleeping space. The lack of ventilation and natural light in these cells further deteriorates the living conditions, making them breeding grounds for respiratory illnesses. The food provided to inmates is meager and nutritionally inadequate. Meals typically consist of rice and beans, with little to no protein or vegetables. Malnutrition is a common issue among inmates, leading to weakened immune systems and increased susceptibility to illnesses. Medical care in Antanamora Prison is grossly inadequate. There are limited medical staff and resources to address the health needs of inmates. Common illnesses often go untreated, and there is a severe lack of medication and medical supplies. Mental health care is virtually non-existent, leaving inmates with psychological issues without the necessary support. Some inmates are required to perform labor within the prison, such as cleaning, cooking, or maintaining the facilities. However, these tasks are often performed under harsh conditions, with little regard for the health and safety of the inmates. Security within Antanamora Prison is strict, with guards maintaining tight control over the inmate population. However, the overcrowded and tense environment often leads to violence among inmates. Fights and assaults are common, and the guards' response can be brutal, leading to further injuries and fatalities. Corruption is rampant within the prison. Guards and officials often demand bribes from inmates and their families in exchange for basic necessities such as food, water, or slightly better living conditions. This creates a system where those with financial resources can buy privileges, while poorer inmates suffer the most. Human rights organizations have repeatedly criticized the conditions at Antanamora Prison. Reports from groups such as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch highlight the severe overcrowding, poor sanitary conditions, lack of medical care, and the brutal treatment of inmates. Antanamora Prison's notoriety stems from its severe overcrowding, poor sanitary conditions, inadequate medical care, and the harsh treatment of inmates. The National Penitentiary, Haiti. The National Penitentiary is located in Port-au-Prince, the capital city of Haiti. It is the largest prison in the country and has gained a notorious reputation for its dire conditions. The facility houses a mix of pretrial detainees and convicted criminals, leading to severe overcrowding and numerous human rights concerns. The National Penitentiary was designed to house around 800 inmates, but often holds more than 4,000. This severe overcrowding leads to a multitude of issues, including lack of personal space, heightened tensions, and the inability to manage basic needs effectively. Inmates live in extremely cramped quarters, often with more than 20 people in a cell meant for far fewer. This lack of space leads to inmates sleeping on the floor or sharing limited bed space, exacerbating the unsanitary conditions. Medical care is grossly insufficient, with limited access to doctors, medications, and basic medical supplies. Corruption is widespread, with guards and officials often demanding bribes for basic services. This creates a system where only those who can pay receive better treatment, while the majority suffer in dire conditions. Many cells lack any toilet facilities, forcing inmates to use buckets or plastic bags to relieve themselves. Waste is often improperly disposed of, with human waste sometimes accumulating in cells or common areas. This leads to extremely unsanitary conditions. Inmates have limited access to clean water. Water for drinking, washing, and sanitation is scarce, forcing inmates to ration their use. Often, the water available is contaminated, further exacerbating health issues. Inmates may suffer from waterborne diseases due to the lack of clean drinking water. Bathing facilities are few and often in disrepair. Showers, when available, are overcrowded and unsanitary. Inmates do not have regular access to showers, leading to poor personal hygiene. This results in skin infections and other health issues, which go untreated due to the lack of medical care. The cells lack proper ventilation and natural light, creating a suffocating and unhealthy environment. Respiratory illnesses are common due to the poor air quality and overcrowding. The poor sanitary conditions lead to frequent outbreaks of diseases such as tuberculosis, cholera, and dysentery. Malnutrition and lack of medical care exacerbate these health problems. The harsh conditions, combined with the psychological strain of overcrowding and isolation, contribute to severe mental health issues among inmates. Fights and assaults are common, further deteriorating the living conditions. The response from guards to any disturbances is often brutal, leading to injuries and fatalities. Reports of physical and psychological abuse by prison staff are frequent. The National Penitentiary in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, is notorious for its severe overcrowding, poor sanitary conditions, inadequate medical care, and rampant corruption. These factors create an environment where disease spreads easily, personal hygiene is nearly impossible to maintain, and the overall living conditions are inhumane. Quezon City Jail, Philippines. Quezon City Jail is located in Quezon City, part of Metro Manila in the Philippines. It is one of the country's most notorious detention facilities, known for its severe overcrowding, poor living conditions, and widespread human rights abuses. The jail houses a mix of pretrial detainees and convicted criminals. The jail was designed to hold around 800 inmates, but often accommodates over 4,000. In 2016, a photo by Noel Celis for Agence France Presse captured the extreme overcrowding, showing inmates packed like sardines in a cell, with some hanging hammocks from the ceiling and others sleeping on staircases due to lack of space. Inmates often sleep in shifts because there isn't enough room for everyone to lie down at the same time. During the day, cells become even more cramped as inmates try to move around and perform daily activities. One of the major reasons for the overpopulation is their war on drugs protocols. The Philippine government's aggressive war on drugs, launched in 2016 under President Rodrigo Duterte, has led to a massive increase in arrests and incarcerations. Thousands of individuals have been detained on drug-related charges, significantly contributing to overcrowding in jails across the country, including Quezon City Jail. The judicial system in the Philippines is often slow, leading to long pre-trial detention periods. A significant backlog of cases in the courts means that individuals remain in detention for years before their cases are heard, contributing to the high population in jails. The toilet facilities are severely inadequate. In some cells, dozens of inmates share a single toilet. The toilets are often blocked or broken, leading to overflowing waste and a foul stench. Inmates sometimes have to use plastic bags or buckets for their bodily needs, which are then disposed of improperly. Access to clean water is a significant issue. Reports indicate that the water available is frequently contaminated. The overcrowded and unsanitary conditions have led to frequent outbreaks of diseases. For example, in 2019, a tuberculosis outbreak occurred in the jail, exacerbated by the poor ventilation and close quarters. Many inmates did not receive timely medical treatment due to the lack of resources. The food provided is insufficient and nutritionally inadequate. Inmates often receive meals consisting mainly of rice with little protein or vegetables. Malnutrition is widespread, weakening the immune systems of inmates and making them more susceptible to illnesses. The jail lacks proper ventilation, making the cells extremely hot and humid. During the summer months, temperatures inside the jail can soar, leading to heat-related illnesses. Inmates are often seen shirtless or using makeshift fans to try to cool down. Waste management is almost non-existent, with garbage piling up in cells and common areas. The overcrowded conditions often lead to tensions and violence among inmates. Fights and assaults are common, and there have been reports of severe injuries and even deaths resulting from these conflicts. Guards often resort to brutality to maintain control. There have been numerous reports of physical abuse, beatings, and even torture. In 2017, a video surfaced showing guards violently dispersing inmates during a search operation, using batons and physical force. Inmates with financial resources can buy privileges such as better living conditions, additional food, or access to medical care. Those who cannot pay suffer the most inhumane conditions. Families of inmates are often extorted for money during visits. They are asked to pay bribes to see their loved ones, bring food or medicine, or ensure better treatment for their incarcerated relatives. Jail's notoriety is well-deserved due to its extreme overcrowding, deplorable sanitary conditions, inadequate medical care, and pervasive violence and corruption.